episode of Wheel of Fortune. Sorry if I'm interrupting that, right? Let me get my little light, my little backlight on here for my cards, okay? I need to do a little work on that, I think. But anyway, the dog is lovingly sitting in my spot until I'm done with the reading. So, yeah, right? Okay, sorry guys, it's just a little different setup. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do these conversation cards. They're literally the first thing that, and this says, "Can we get away together?" Yeah, vacation. Let's go, right? Um, Earlier today, I heard something kind of like that, and maybe it was like in the song lyrics or something about going, on vacation or something. So maybe that's a message for somebody to take a little vacay. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got here. I could, maybe this is the same person from the romance reading earlier. They said I could, you look like something good to, yeah, so maybe, again, can we get away together? So apparently you and this person are not together. Maybe you work different schedules, whatever the deal is, and they're like, can we get away together? Road. Maybe this is a road trip that they want you to go on. I would be asking if the roads are paved myself. Yeah, are you seeing anyone this person wants to know? So obviously they're not trying to rock the boat. If you are with someone, if you are free to get away with them, they are asking that question. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm hearing like literally this person could like hit the road tomorrow with you if there was a bag packed, like, okay, like that kind of thing. Maybe they're self-employed, maybe it's just a good time for them right now. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're in a transition period. I have no idea. But that's the message I'm getting. Okay. Focus. Okay. That's interesting. I cannot make it up. Vacay. You guys, if you're just tuning in, this whole reading has been about going on a trip with somebody. So, the I'm gonna take you on a trip so far from here. Okay, that song, go check that one. Eddie Money, right? So yeah, this person definitely wants to 2 tickets you to paradise. Maybe they won a trip or something. You know how those radio promotions are? I mean, maybe they won and they're like, oh, I need somebody to go with. It kind of happened to me. I ended up with an extra ticket, and then I was asking somebody, I'm like, hey, are you available? Because the other folks I was talking to, they have to work or, whatever. So, things can happen at the drop of the hat, right? Trendy Eats and Vegan Treats says hi. Hi back. I wish I could come out and say it, they said. Maybe that's this part. Maybe that's this part here that they that they think you're hot to trot, right? Okay. Yeah, the person is tired of dating. They would like to be dating you. Okay. And you might be asking this person some questions. What they're going to say is that he or she went back to an old partner. So that if you were like, hey, why are you asking me? I thought you were the one. You know what I mean? Like, that's news to me that you're even single. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So if you feel like this person might be jumping the gun, maybe it's because they need to update you on their news, okay? But literally, this is, you know, what came out. So, you know, take that for what it's worth, you know what I mean? Okay. Let's get some more of the fun cards, right? Which these I made, right? So, are you gonna tell this person to buzz off, right? Or are you gonna give them a little smooch? Who knows? Who knows? Time will tell, right? Ask the magic 8 ball, right? Time will tell. The answer is soon, right? That's sometimes like when you get into tarot, and it's like some people might think they're gonna get like an exact answer every time. You know, maybe for some of you watching this, you're like, dude, I can't go on vacation right now. What are you talking about? Okay, this isn't your reading. That's why. You know, it's like, don't take it so personally. And maybe you do need to go get a personal reading from somebody, right? That's paid, right? This is a free collective reading. So, you know, don't come hate on the reader because it's not your vacation, right? You know, I watch Wheel of Fortune and Price is Right, right? Sometimes in the morning, you know, when you're able to catch that elusive Price is Right in the morning, right? And then you're like, man, they're going where? They're going. It's like we're all enjoying while they're, you know what I mean? So it's like why people gotta troll so hard, you know, on other stuff, right? Yeah, if that is the case, you might give this person the boot, right? Whoever's doing that, okay? Because somebody could be like unapproving of your relationship, is what I want to say. And you might be like, well, you know what? That doesn't really matter to me, so I'm gonna go forward with what I want to do. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Okay. Pressure. Yeah, I person is feeling the pressure. Okay, so they really want to know if you can get away with them, and they would like you to actually focus on. They actually want you to focus on this. Like, hey, pay attention to what I'm. You know, this is. I'm just telling you, this is the energy. Okay. So if this person, like, if they don't feel like you're taking them seriously enough, I guess is what I'm saying, be prepared that it might come off a little like, you know, who do you think you are? You know? Because yeah, they're under like a pressure moment here. Um, yeah, I'll just say it that way, okay? Because everyone's going to be a little bit different, right? River. Okay. So you say hitting the road, you're like, is it by a river? I mean, you want to go fishing? What is the deal? Um, and if you are on the river, practice water safety, right? The doctor asks, are you high? Who? Who are you asking? And are you a real doctor? Right. What are your credentials, sir or madam? How about that? Are you even qualified to be watching my channel? One time a day. Some days I tell myself I'll be mature enough to do this or that one day, right? You know, some people aren't mature enough to use the internet, so be warned. Yes, one time a day. So I think what this person is saying is that they wish they could actually tell you that they think of you on the daily. Okay. And they think about like how they would rather be not, you know, dating so and so and be dating you. Okay. And so I think that's why this came out this way, where it said he or she went back to an old partner. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this other partner might be crying a little bit, but I feel like this whole experience is like kind of a, dare I say, watershed moment. Okay. La, da, 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 da. let's see what else we have here because yeah, I'm getting a lot of downloads right now, you guys. It's just I feel like the closer we get to the Halloween season, and we also crossed into Libra season, and Libras are known as the truth tellers, right? Kind of like it or not, matter of fact, and that's, I feel like sometimes Libras get a bad rap with that, as just that people think they're unfeeling or something, and it's like, no, they are. It's just they are somebody who's actually able to face facts and look at facts, right? Yeah. Okay. So these are some meditation cards. This is the decks that I have over here are ones that I made, FYI. So I'm not really playing a game. So if you need to go to a gamer's channel, you might need to do that. Okay. So transmission, yeah, let that be the transmission. Okay. These are the meditation oracle cards, though, that are available to order by whoever made these. So if that's what you're looking for, you can go do that, right? No, it's not like D&D, but, like I said, if you need to go to a gamer's channel, you can do that. Mindfulness, yeah. Okay. I think we can all use a little mindfulness throughout our day. As I was talking about in the earlier reading today, counting to 5, counting to 10, things of that nature, right before responding. Mm-hmm. Some people don't think before they speak, right? They just about any old thing. So I feel like that's part of the pressure that this person has been feeling in asking, because they do want to be mindful. They don't want to come across as crude or stepping over some kind of boundary if, perhaps you are in a relationship, or, so yeah, I would focus on that aspect, okay, when this person comes to you. All right. Oh honey, yeah, you're just gonna have to get blocked off the channel. Yeah, bye-bye, go start your own channel. That's what I like to tell people that come on and like to disturb the peace, just go start your own channel and nobody's stopping you. It's free. It's literally free to do so on YouTube. And obviously that person has a YouTube account, so they can go do that. So anybody who wants to jump ship with them that I just got out of the chat, please go do so now. All right. Aspiration, right? What do you aspire to be? Okay. So you can see kind of the outline of the sun here. Sometimes it's the man and the moon that we see, right? Very often, have you ever seen the moon like hanging over the river? It's just like amazing, right? And the reflection on the water. Yeah. That could be part of this vacation as well. You might be going for a beach vacation. Okay. When does hurricane season start? Not till like November officially, I think. So, I think you still have some time, right? But always like check the radar. I always get worried when I see people on social media. They're like, "We just arrived," and it's like, "Oh my God, the storm is like literally heading that way." And I don't know. So yeah. Let's see here. Bliss. Sometimes planning gives us a little bliss, doesn't it? Even just checking in one time a day. When I was in grade school, junior high, and high school, I rarely had to write down my assignments because I remembered it all up here. When I got to college, things were a little bit different. I had a work schedule to keep track of. Questions were very randomized in college, things of that nature. It wasn't just, do the even number problems and do the odd number problems. You know what I mean? So, checking in on your schedule. Okay, that might seem like a very Virgo thing to do, but what it really is it's the Libra energy of pulling your head out of the sand and saying, right, let's take our breath, right, and say, what do we, you know what I mean? Okay, need to accomplish today, right? Because it might change from day to day. What if you wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, I ate something, wait, well, you're gonna have to work around that, right? I mean, that's how some of this goes. Okay. Nourishment. Yeah. I feel like doing this collective, taking this vacation, even if it's like some kind of staycation type, you know what I mean? Maybe you're somebody who's like, I don't like to fly on airplanes, or I don't like to be in the car more than 2 hours. You know what? Whatever. Right? You can still vacation, right? It's kind of it's part of it's about a mindset too, right? And that's going to nourish you. So again, when this person comes to you with this, it's not saying be so open-minded that you're just like, yeah, whatever, or anything. It's just realize that this may be a good opportunity for you. Okay. And if it is somebody that you are interested in, it's like, well, why wouldn't you take that opportunity? Right. Yeah. Okay. So again, think about what's actually going to nourish you. Put that little smile on your face. Okay. Okay. All right, we're man going through this reading pretty quickly. I could do some cards, I guess, but I think I need to take a little sip here. I think I'm gonna do the light worker cards just because this has been more of a oracle reading so far. But ooh, I don't know. Maybe I should do the moon deck. I am gonna do the moon deck because it's like it's like when it's the half moon. There's always like my dog was all wound up the other day, and yeah. So. I feel like that fall, and especially from the shift from Virgo into Libra, it's like that fall adjustment has kind of started, right? Where, okay. Staying ahead of the game, not being a pawn in the game, right? That's what I was like. It kept asking, like, what game I was playing. It's like, I'm not really playing a game. So, I might need to go to the game channel. Although I did used to play cards and, other, I guess poker's a card game, right? Even though there's chips involved or whatever, but, anyway. Your dreams need a practical plan. Yes, sometimes planning will bring us that bliss. Okay, so this could, again, be a situation where this person has thought about this. Okay, and so the fact that they've thought about it, that's part of the pressure that they're under, that they want to execute it well, is what I'm getting. Okay, and especially with this Taurus energy, that's, it's like they want to be stubborn to get their way out of it, if that makes sense, but like in a positive direction. Okay. Yeah, so keep that mindfulness. Okay, keep that. Yeah. Nothing will come of this situation. Okay. Worried about this drastically changing things? I don't know that it's going to. Because, a relationship still has to progress at its own rate. Okay. So this might be just one of those things where, you're expanding but it's not necessarily transforming. So if you are hesitant, because of that, because you don't want to move too quickly. Okay. I think this person is, if they're not cognizant of it, they should be, but you might want to communicate um, that concern. Okay. And again, it's kind of interesting that I was talking about that full moon over the water, and you know what I mean? It literally came out like that. So, you know what I mean? It might just be one of these things where you have an enjoyable moment and you just take it for what it is. You know, it's like it doesn't have to become this, it doesn't have to become that. It's more of like a day, you know, day to day type deal. Okay. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Okay, so we're gonna have a full moon here coming up, and then so we should have a new moon before Libra season is over. Yes, for 2025. So and this says, yeah, a new romantic cycle begins. So maybe this is the time where it's like, okay, this person wants to get away with you, just kind of like, you know, go try and go and enjoy yourself as adults. You know what I mean? As like two people that happen to know each other type thing. And then it's kind of like from there, the possibility is saying here is that, yeah, by the new moon, a new romantic possibility begins here. So yeah, this reading has taken a good turn, I think. A time to give rather than take. So, collective, if you are used to one versus the other, get ready for some reciprocation, some positive reciprocation, I feel like. Okay. What else do we have here? I think that's about all I'm gonna pull for this reading. Okay. So maybe I'll do a tarot pull tomorrow. Okay. So, but from what I can tell, this is this is definitely the vacation reading here. So, if you're hoping to go on vacation, if you're planning when this is the thing. It's like just like you were gonna go anyway, right? So there's somebody else gonna be there. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, you can try and get along or not. You know what I mean? It's like dun dun dun. Behold, we all have the power, right? Behold, okay. So, if that's news to you, well, let me be the first to help you understand, right? North, east, west, and south, right? Okay. So, we have a little compass, and we can turn our head this way, we can turn our head that way, right? Okay. Again, water here. So yeah, we had the river thing. We had the big. This came out earlier. So I really do feel like for somebody, this is going to be some kind of waterfront type vacation, if not like at one of those water parks, right? Message held for review. Okay. All right. So this is love. La, da, 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 right? Okay. All right. So please do like the video, especially if you were in the chat this evening. Consider subscribing to the channel. Remember, you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video. I will never even know who you are if you like the video. Unless one day they change the algorithm, they change it on the back end and we're miraculously able to see all that stuff, right? Anyway. Otherwise I just see like counts and views and stuff. Just FYI. Unless you physically leave a comment. Which I have not noticed on I think I might have turned the chat replays off, FYI. If anybody's noticed that recently, just because some of it is, I'm not so worried about it these days anyway. Um, it's fine here, but I don't know that the replay is available, FYI. Okay. So if you do go back to watch something, you might not be able to see it on the display end. Okay. So that being said, remember the chat is a privilege. It is a privilege. Okay. Some people don't even have the chat on. Some people don't even have the comments on their readings. But I like to give folks an opportunity, that are participating kindly towards what I would consider the mission of the channel. Okay. So, you know, and like I, mentioned earlier to the one commenter that decided to take it in a different direction, you're free to go start your own channel. I would highly encourage you do so. Self-expression is very important, right? For our health, okay? So, yeah. Let's keep going down that road for a moment or two, maybe. It's getting dark and spooky in here now. Ooh. Don't worry, I've got my safety lantern. Hot diggity dog, right? Okay. All right, you guys. Until next time, enjoy the ambiance, right? In the year 2000. All right, I gotta go. Bye.